So we can enter the relationship between mentor and mentee, how you can actually work to create the right relationship for your life and live the life of your dreams. So let's see. A minute. Okay, yeah. We talked about the word. Words create world. Okay. We talk about words create world. So your words create your worlds, or whether spiritually, physically, maritally. So we said that conversation is a source of creativity. Conversation. Conversation. Conversation is a source. Is a source of creativity, whether it's positive conversation or negative conversation. So we have about 6 outlines here. We have our 6 outlines here. We said the context for the concept. Number 1 here, outlines. Things we are supposed to be going through. We have the context for the concept, okay? For the concept, okay? Number 2 here, we have the image of God, okay? The image and likeness of God. The image and likeness of God, okay? And number 3, we have the communication and creation. Communication and creation. The words are not just for communication alone. Words are also used for creation. They have a word seeds. So words are seeds. So you have to plant the right words to get the right fruit, the right harvest. Creativity, conversation. Creative conversation. Creative conversation. Okay. So creative conversation. Okay, the last one here is names and frames. 6. Names and frames. So you have to name the things and frame them. So a little bit of revision here. What creates your world? Language determines the level of on which you are experiencing life. Conversation at the source of creativity. Which one comes first, talking or walking? We say that don't wait until you see it. Say it until you see it. Talk always, proceed, walk. So we always say that words exceeded before the world. And we look at the context for our training, how to be entrepreneur. John 1 verse 1 to 2. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And the same was in the beginning with God. And all the things were made by Him, and without Him, nothing was made that was made. So we talked about words, that everything that is observable, unobservable in the universe owes its origin to the Word of God. You talk it until you walk it. You talk it until you see it. So even you, that most of us, we have the power in our words to live the life we want to live, to create the world we want to create. So we mentioned 3 things you can do with your word. Number 1, words, death and life are in the power of your tongue. Those who love it will eat the fruit of it. It means that your words have the power to enrich you, to enrich your life, to diminish your life, even end your life. So number 2, that words are snare. Some people are held captive by the words of their mouth. The way they are struggling today because of the words of their mouth. Their words of their mouth become their worst enemy, hinder their progress, and can tie them down just because of what they say with their mouth. I want my words to liberate me, to help me achieve my goals and my destiny. So your words can also bring life to you, can enslave you, can set you free. So we also want to say that if you are a Christian and you cannot bridle your tongue, your religion is worthless. James 1 verse 26, that even you're a businessman, you cannot keep to your words. You'll be struggling in business. This person that says he's a Christian and he cannot bridle his tongue, of course, is worthless. It's like a ship that you put a small vessel that control the whole ship, like a horse. You put the bridle in his mouth to control the whole horse. So when I talk about the image of God, so we say, if God creates with his words, so you and I can create with our words. Whatever God tells you about himself is already telling you about yourself. So God speaks, and it's not simply communicating, it's also creating. That's important to place value on your words, because God places value on his own words too. In fact, he placed value on his word, and he honored his word even above his name. And you see that in Psalm 138 verse 2. So we also want to talk about communication and creating, that God places value on his word and wants you to place value on your words, because your words are not just simply means of communication, they're also agency for creation. that God uses words to create. And then your circumstances always follow your conversations. Your conversations mirror, reflect the quality and the content of your conversations. You have a bad conversations of God, you're struggling. So when I talk about the word seed, so I mentioned 7 things that God does with his word. So I said heaven and earth will pass away, but his word endures forever. Your the words create, word heals, words deliver, words saves, words keeps, words conquer evil, words endures forever. So your word can create, have creative properties. It can heal, it can deliver, it can set the captives free, it can conquer evil. So we're going to talk about addressing the mystery. Okay, I think let's come. We stopped here yesterday. The word seed. Yes or yes? So I need to give 1 or 2 lines there so that we can move to creating creative conversation. Okay, we can move to creative conversation. That's a lot. Okay, so I wanted to establish the fact that our words are seeds. So, and I'm going to take it here, Matthew, okay, 13 3 to 8. 13 3 to 8. So it was the 7 mysteries of the secrets of the kingdom. And the third one has to do with the sower. It's the parable of sowing seeds. And there are 4 types of ground. So write this one down on your note. The seed is always God. The seed is always good. But the ground is not always conducive to the seed. The seed is always good. The seed is always good. But the ground is not always conducive for the seeds. You know, we have 4 types of seed, the ground there. One fell on the wayside. One fell on the stony ground. I said the seed is always good. The seed is always good. The sower that went to sow some seed, the seed is always good. But the ground is not always conducive for the seeds, full stop. Some words came on the stony ground, some fall on the wayside, some fall on the shallow ground, while some fall on the good ground, and they bring forth harvest, some 30, some 60, some 100. I said the seed is always good, but the ground is not always conducive for the seeds. That means God's word is seed. That is what the place is, that God's word is seed. But I told you that anything God tells you about himself, he's telling you about yourself. That means if God was is seed, that means your own words is also seed. Word has power. Has power, seed potentials to produce harvest in your life. Words have power, words have power and seeds potentials to produce harvest in your life. Words have powers and seed potentials to produce harvest in your life. So if words are seeds, that I was telling us last time that you need to plant your words well. If you want to have good seeds, you want good harvest, you must plant good seeds. You cannot be cursing somebody and be having a quality life. You cannot be hating yourself and hating other people and have a good life. So words are seeds and seed potentials. Words have seeds powers and seed potentials. Words have seeds power and seed potentials and can produce the harvest in your life. So, and I love this place so much, and I would like us to see this. He said, do not be deceived. God is not mocked. That whatever a man sow it, so shall he what? Reap. Whatever a man sow it, so shall he do what? Reap. That means it's a universal law and a principle, spiritual law and irrevocable law. That whatever you sow is what you reap. So you will reap what you sow in your subconscious mind. So if you don't want to harvest what you don't want to harvest wrong negative harvest, you don't want to have a negative harvest, don't plant negative seeds. If you want to harvest good things, you must plant good seeds. Let's write this one down on our note. Don't sow negative seeds in your mind. Don't sow negative seeds in your mind. If you don't want to reap harvest of failure, defeat, regret, poverty, lack, don't sow negative seeds in your mind. Don't sow negative seeds in your mind. Don't sow negative seeds in your mind. If you don't want to harvest, if you don't want to reap or reap the harvest of failure, don't sow negative seeds in your mind. If you don't want to reap the harvest of failure, don't sow negative seeds in your mind. If you don't want to reap the harvest of failure, defeat, regret, poverty, lack, division, strife, envy, etc. So I'm going to show you how you should not do that. There is no participate in conversations that doesn't empower you. Don't sow negative seeds in your mind. Don't sow negative seeds in your mind. If you don't want to reap the harvest of failure, defeat, regret, comma, poverty, comma, lack, comma, division, comma, strife, comma, envy, etc. So when people go into entrepreneurship, you go into, if you have a shop, you have businesses you want to go into, but the problem now is that you are not happy. That bitterness, you have to let go. You have to let go of certain things so that you can be free. I keep telling you, travel out of life. Many people fail in business not because they are not hardworking, because they are not happy. They don't know how to let go. I tell us something that said that expectation not met make the heart sick. The best way to live life is not to expect anything. So don't expect anything from anybody so you don't get disappointed. Don't sow negative seeds in your mind if you don't want to reap the harvest of failure, comma, defeat, comma, regret, comma, poverty, comma, lack, comma, division, strife, envy, etc. So don't sow negative seeds in your life and don't expose yourself. Write this one down. Don't expose yourself to negative conversation. Don't expose yourself to negative conversations. 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 Don't expose your eyes to negative things, because it's a gateway. It's a gateway. It's a gateway of negative of bringing things into your life. Don't expose your eyes to negative things by watching negative things on the television, listening to negative news, watching negative movies, because you are planting seeds of doubt, fear, anxiety, frustration, confusion. Don't expose your ears, don't expose your eyes to negative conversations. Don't watch negative things on your phone, on your televisions. Don't listen to negative music, watching negative movie, because they are planting negative seeds of doubt. Negative seeds of doubt. That whenever you start some doubt, comma, fear, anxiety, frustration, confusion, seeds of disempowering thoughts and works. So negative things you expose your ears to, negative things you watch, are going to plant seeds of doubt, fear, anxiety, frustration, confusion. You know, most of us say, I'm not like that, but anytime they're gossiping, you're always found wanting. And that's why I don't like people eating granite in my office. You know why? Because granite is one of the center points of gossip. If everyone, because once you start eating granite, number one, your hand is off. You cannot use your hand to do anything productive, because you know this granite, they normally open. This one, manzain pork. You know manzain pork? I don't like manzain pork in my office at all, because it's always bring gossip. If you see where they eat manzain pork, somebody that is passing will just come and put hand there and collect one. Number one, his eyes is off. He cannot use that hand to do anything that moment. Number two, his eyes is off. He cannot use his eyes to do anything productive. He's watching the ground to know where the one that is bad. I'm telling you what I know now. If I see it, I will just carry it and take it to dustbin. I don't like it in the workplace, because manzain pork is a seat of gossip in the market, in church, everywhere you see manzain pork. Watch it, you see gossiping is going on there. Number one, their hand is off. Number two, their eyes is off. Number three, their mouth is busy. They cannot make call, they cannot say things, they cannot do anything. And number three, their brain is disempowered. So these are the things. You are watching pornography, you are sowing negative seeds in your mind. You don't like one day you don't like Niger Bait, Ponzi scheme. Every day you are passing in the Niger Bait, say which game they play, which man they play, coupon. One day you go play that game and they tell you. So don't pass through. Don't, if you see them, their shop is this way, please pass the other way so that you will not be tempted to go inside. You know, what are times to say most of the things that we put ourselves. You see, people are gossiping and talking. You are just participating, but you don't know that these are seeds of doubt. Is going to say seeds of doubt, fear, anxiety, frustration. There's no way you see where they're discussing Nigeria that you'll be happy. Oh, the economy is bad. They just say they just approve money. This one embezzle money. This one, you say, which kind of country? Light no day, nothing they work. You see poor man, they complain. When you finish, you don't know that I've sown seeds of doubt, fear, anxiety, frustration, poverty, lack, disempowering thoughts, and you leave that place, you become worse than you even went to that place. So you need to be where the conversations are positive. Write this one down. The law of harvest says that seed time and harvest time is constant. The law of harvest states that seed times and harvest time is constant. That means anywhere you find yourself, just know that you are planting and you will soon reap. The law of harvest states that seed time and harvest time is constant. So whenever you find yourself, that is not the conversation, It's not putting money in your pocket. It's not taking you to heaven. It's not empowering you. That is a negative environment. You don't need to stay there, because I said the law of harvest states that seed time, that is seed time, and harvest time is constant. That means anything you are, anywhere you are, okay, you are investing in yourself, whether negative or positive. Either you expose your ear or you expose your eyes to negative things, you are also sowing seeds of course frustration or seeds of empowerment. So you be intentional about what you want to harvest. Write this one, even if you have not written anything to all the online community, write this one for me. Be intentional about what you want to harvest in life. You want to harvest love, okay, you must plan love in that relationship. You want to harvest retainership, repeat customer in your business. You must plant peace and love with your customers so they can come back again. I said be intentional about what you want to harvest. You want to be intentional about what you want to harvest. If you want to harvest prosperity, peace, health, wealth, happiness, etc., you must be intentional about the seeds you plant in your life. If you want to harvest prosperity, peace, health, wealth, happiness, etc., you must be intentional about the seeds you plant in your life. If you want to harvest prosperity, you want to harvest peace of mind, wealth, health, happiness, etc., you must be intentional about the seeds you plant in your life. So be intentional about your conscious level, about what you hear, what you focus on. I think let's also write this one down. Be intentional about your conscious level, about what you hear, about what you focus on. I like that so much. Be intentional about your conscious level, about what you hear, what you focus on, the conversation you participate in. I'll come back again, don't worry. Be intentional about your subconscious level. Be intentional about your subconscious level, about what you hear, what you focus on, the conversations you participate in. These are the three things you need to be very intentional. What you hear, what you see, what you focus on, and the conversation you participate. Any conversation that is not taking you to heaven, is not putting money in your pocket, it's not making you happy. You don't need it. It's not adding to your life. You don't need that kind of conversation. In the next 2-3 minutes into conversation, you have to take a leave, because it's not empowering you. It's going to take away from you. You don't know they are sowing seeds. I said be intentional about your subconscious level, about what you hear, what you focus on, the conversations you participate in, etc. Because the only way you will have your heart's desires is only when you sow the seeds. Harvest. Your heart desires harvest is only when you sow the right seeds. So all those your heart desires you want, peace, love, making money, helping people, building school, building hospital, is to sow the right seeds, because that is the only way. So be careful about what you hear, what you focus on, and the conversation you participate in. You should spend more time. I talked about it yesterday, but you should write it again today. You should spend more time talking to things about God. Spend more time talking to things about God. Talking to things about God. Spend more time talking to things about God and talking to God about God. Spend more time talking to God about God, talking to things about God, talking to God about God, than talking to God about things, than talking to God about things. I have to write it down. So I want you to see it like this. Spend more time. Let me clean this one and put it again. There, talking to God about things. About things. So spend more time talking to things about God and talking to God about God. Spend more time talking to things about God and talking to God about God than talking to God about things. Tell God you are awesome, you are wonderful, God, you are the best, God, you are the Almighty. Talk to God about God. Spend more time talking to things. Talk to this mountain. Mountain could be frustration, could be poverty, could be lack. Anything that is big in your life is a mountain. Talk to him. Talk to him about God. Tell the things about God. You get out of this place. If you say this mountain move, it will move. You have faith. So talk to things about God. Talk to God about God than talking to God about things. I'm going to give you a little note here, because when you talk to God about things, you are trying to make that thing bigger than God. That is the problem. But if you talk to things about God, that means you are making God bigger than that thing. Because I used to say something like this, that it's only the people that you are bigger than gossips about you. No rich man gossip about poor man. What you can carry poor man do? The only person where you pass, they talk about you. So that's why I don't like it when they argue with fools, because when people argue people you don't know, you don't pass. They are talking about more argue. If you argue with fools, they will drag you to that level. I'm going to give you a note about that. So you don't need to. Rich man, Dangote doesn't talk about you. Now you will talk about Dangote because he's wealthier and more powerful. So anything you talk about, that means you're in your subconscious mind. That thing is bigger than you. That thing is doing better than you. You know, only failures God say about successful. Success don't talk about failures. You don't have, but first people don't talk about last. It's not concerned. See, I keep saying the person that win the race focus on the goal. A loser focus on the person. That is it. So don't focus on people. You're not competing with anybody. Focus on your goals, your dreams, and your life. So spend more time talking to things about your God and talking to God about God. Talk to God about who He is. Talk about Him. That is what you should spend more time than talking to things. Talking to God about things. Most of us go to prayer. You're talking to God about things. Oh, I'll give you some notes. That is the reason you have been talking to God about things. Now, God, I don't have money. God, I don't have this. Talk to God about everything. Your life never changed. Now, try something different. At least this practical. Go back home now. Start talking to everything in your life about God. Cancer, disease, sorrow, poverty, lack, anything. Tell Him in the name of Jesus. Get out of this place. Command. Get out. Talk to things about God. Tell Him how big your God is. My God is bigger. Don't talk to things about God. Talk to human being about God. Talk to everything about God. You're going to see your life is getting better. So try. Then you want to talk to God about Himself. You are powerful, you are the light of the world, you are this, talk to God about God. Try conversation, just change conversation. Try it 1 month. Let's see whether the results will not be different. Because you have been doing this now, you have been going to church. 95% of prayer in church are money prayed. Tell God about money, house rent, children, I need money. You tell God about money. Tell people how big your God is. 2 things I wanted to write note today. I said, instead of telling people how big your mountain is, tell people how big your God is. Number 2, right now I want you to write this, that instead of telling God how big your mountain is, instead of telling God how big your mountain is, tell your mountain how big your God is. Tell your mountain how big your God is, right? Instead of tell your mountain how big your God is. So all the mountain in your life from today, tell them about God. Sickness, bye-bye. Lack, bye-bye. Poverty, bye-bye. Lack of no customer, bye-bye. My team, anything that is not giving you glory, bye-bye. Command them out. Because do you know why you need to do this? I say, instead of telling people about how big your mountain is, tell people how big your God is. Instead of telling things how big, instead of telling God how big your mountain is, tell mountain how big your God is. Fine. So you know why you need to do that? Because feelings follows your focus. Write it down. Feelings follows your focus. Feelings follows your focus. Or feelings will determine. Feelings follows your focus. Feelings follows your focus. So it means that if you focus on the size of your mountain, your feelings will follow, and you feel defeated. If you focus on the size of your mountain, feelings always follows focus. Feelings always follow your focus. Put it like that. So sorry for my English this morning. Feelings always follows your focus. The way you feel is going to determine on what you focus on. Feelings always follows your focus. Full stop. If you focus on the size of your mountain, your feelings will follow and you will feel defeated. If you focus on the size of your mountain could be anything. Like if a mountain could be difficult situation, challenges, things, negative in your life, things that are not working, anything that is not leading to your direction is a mountain. So God says you command to that mountain. If you have faith, you can move. So we are coming to that very soon. As a feelings always follows your focus. Because I see so many people that you're mentoring them on the business, that are into poultry farming, fish farming, but they don't feel good about themselves. They don't feel good about the business, but they're looking at the negativity about the business. So I want to correct you today. So please, feelings always follows your focus. Full stop. If you focus on the size of your mountain, your feelings will follow, and you will feel defeated, depleted, void of energy, like quitting, like turning back in that relationship, in that business, accepting and settling for less than your purchase privilege. If you focus on the size of your mountain, you will feel defeated, depleted, void of energy. You will focus on quitting. You will feel like quitting, like turning back, accepting and settling for less. If you focus on the size of your mountain, you will feel defeated. Size of the challenge you are facing right now, I said one day, I said if they ask everybody to bring all their friends and keep here, everybody should go back. Then everybody should run and carry anyone. You see people shouting from the back, please don't touch my own problem, or don't touch my own problem, because when everybody will bring their problem and keep, you know, people's own is bigger than your own, and your own is very small, and you'll be thinking that some people don't look what that are passing through. Some people don't look like what they are passing through. You see some people that are smiling, they are just packaging. They're not packaging. If you tell what they are passing through, in fact, you go to church and start thanking God that you are not passing through anything in life. So don't focus on the size of your problems, your challenges, what they are passing, because life was not meant to be easy. What did I say? No, touch yourself. Say I'm a success. Touch yourself. Say I'm a millionaire. Life was not meant to be easy. Even everything was not meant to be easy. Planting, no, harvesting, no, nothing was meant to be easy in life. So coming to come and complain is just sabotaging your effort and your dream. Because you're focusing on the size of your mountain, you feel defeated, you feel depleted, you feel void of energy, you feel like quitting, you feel like turning back, you accepting and settling for less. But if you shift your focus and focus on the size of your God, if you shift your focus and focus on the size of your God, if you shift your focus, just shift this focus right from today. Leave problems alone. Shift your focus and focus on the size of your God, the promises of God on your life. Anything God say, anything God promises you, focus on it. I'm the light of the world. I'm the salt of the earth. I've been lifted above for his and power. Just anything God tells you about you in the scripture, just focus on it. Hold it. Carry an enter business. Carry an enter entrepreneurship. You see life will change. I say if you shift your focus and focus on the size of your God, promises of God, faithfulness of God. If you shift your focus and begin to focus on the size of your God, focus on the size of your God, promises of God, faithfulness of God, the integrity of God, then you will feel encouraged, become optimistic, expectant about a better future, anticipate a favorable and desirable outcome. Full stop. If you shift your focus and focus on the size of your God, tell all your problems how big your God is. Just start telling your problems. This one, you are here, you have to destroy me. All this fear and doubt, my God is bigger than you. Get out in Jesus and command them. Just any problem you have, just anything you think is a problem, anything you think is a problem, or challenges, or difficulty, or negatives in your life, just tell them about how big your God is. Can't you just learn from Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? They're not looking at the size of the fire. They were telling the Nebuchadnezzar about the size of their God. Look at Daniel, and he wasn't looking at the lion. He was telling the king about the size of his God. If you shift your focus and focus on the size of your God, promises of God, faithfulness of God, he's always faithful, and the integrity of God, that everything will come to pass, but his words remain forever. Then you will feel encouraged, become optimistic to go into that business again, to try again, expectant about a better future, anticipate a favorable and a desirable outcome. Full stop. And that is why you need to focus, because greater is he that is in you than he that is where? In the world. It means that the power of God within you is greater than the forces that is against you. So why are you so focusing on the force against you? So begin to focus on those promises of God. And the power of God behind you, get the obstacle before you. Write this one down. Focus will determine your feelings. 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 So the what you focus on will determine how you feel. And your feelings will govern your functions, behavior, actions, and activities. Your feelings will govern your functions, the way you're going to function, and then your behavior, your activities, your actions. If you feel good, you stand up and take action. If you don't feel good, focus will determine your feelings. If you're focusing on negative or positive, you're going to determine your feelings. And your feeling will determine your behavior, your activities, your actions, the way you're going to function. So that is why it's not always good to wake up in the morning and start focusing on the things that's not working in your life. Start focusing on the economy that is not working. Start on the president that is doing us like Penka Nyanka, dollar is up to the dollar is down to the swell is this, the wahala. If you focus on those things, okay, you will feel defeated, you feel depleted, you will feel like quitting, you feel like turning back out of life, you feel like settling for less, because you are focusing on the negative things. Instead of focusing on the positive, you are focusing on what? The negative. And if you are focusing on there's something we drew last time, like whatever you focus on determines your belief. You focus on the positive, you're going to give you a belief called faith, tenor faith. Focus on the negative, you're going to give you a belief called doubt, tenor doubt. And that will determine the way you feel emotions and feelings and what you anticipate. So focus will determine your feelings. If you've written that one down, shall I? Online communities, please write it for me. Focus will determine your feelings. Focus will determine your feelings, and feelings will governs your functions, your behavior, your actions, and your activities. So when you pray, tell God more about himself. Thank him, glorify him, magnify him, exalt him. Tell God about himself. Tell God more about his goodness, faithfulness, abilities, wisdom. Write this one down. Exalting God with your mind and with your mouth. Exalting God with your mind and with your mouth will reduce obstacles and mountains. Exalting God in your mind and with your mouth will reduce obstacles and the size of the mountain. Exalting God in your mind and with your mouth. Two things. Always thinking about God that is bigger than everything. In your mind and with your mouth. We reduce obstacles and the size of the mountain of every challenges you are facing. Exalting God with your mind and with your mouth will reduce obstacles and the size of the mountain you might be facing in life. Exalting God with your mind and with your mouth will reduce obstacles and the size of the mountain you'll be facing in life. Giving you courage to speak to the mountain about God. Giving you courage to speak to the mountain about God. Full stop. Exalting God in your mind. Always think about how big your God is. Think about it. Talk to him about himself. Exalting God in your mind and with your mouth will reduce the obstacles and the size of your mountain and you might be facing, and you will find courage to speak to those mountains about your God. Find courage. You know, there was a case story when God was just passing and he saw a victory, and he caused a victory that we were trying to talk yesterday. And when they're passing, and the victory has dried up. So, and his disciple asked him, Master, what happened? He said, have faith in God. What simply is have the faith of God. Have the faith of God. The faith of God says that when God speaks, he expects his words to do that, to not to return to him void. When God speaks, he expects that whatever he order will arrive. God speaks expecting his words as a sovereign power that governs the universe. So why am I telling you this is because I want to show you how to have a creative conversation. Let's go there. A creative conversation. Then we can do frame and name. Let me show you how to have a creative conversation, because your words governs the world. Everything you can see and touch and feel today started. Conversation is the source of creativity. The chair you are seeing today, somebody sat down and said, I think we should produce a chair. Somebody sit down and say, let us do the Dangote says I would have a factory, and begin to tell people about it, and they went to work. Dangote, I'm very sure, is not a petrochemical engineer. He cannot do those installations, but he speaks. Every governor governs with words. Every king governs with words. Whenever a word of a king is, there is power. Every president governs with his words, not with their hands. God created everything with his words. As a thing, just say, it's just about 4 of them. Let me see if I can do these 4 things today. Then we can call it today. And then maybe, because it's plenty, 4 of them, we'll have to take some little notes. And I don't know how you're going to do this, but let me show you what I feel. You will do this today. So we have destructive conversations. We have creative conversations. So you do something like this. So you write a constructive conversation. Constructive conversations. So how you can have you have here destructive conversation. Destructive conversation. So it will be 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here 1, 2, 3, 4. It will be a long note. I don't know what we are going to do. So let's start from the first one. I want here. We have here. It starts constructive conversation. Let's start from there. So it must be internal, or we call them subjectives. So we discuss subjectives and destructive. If you want to have a constructive conversation, first and foremost, it must be internal. Internal. That is having conversation with yourself. You must always have constructive conversation with yourself. As a man is the only being that can talk to himself. Man is the only being that lives in 3 realms simultaneously at the same time. We discussed that last week. So you must have internal conversation with yourself. Always have a constructive conversation with yourself, because you start with constructive conversation with yourself. Conversation with yourself. Okay, let's put it like that. Conversation with yourself. With yourself. With yourself. That's why I say you get a thinking chair. Because if you don't have a constructive conversation with yourself, you can never have conversation with anybody. So get a thinking chair, sit with yourself, pick an area of your life, finances, relationship, the law of peace. Talk about it. I'm a winner, I'm a champion. Talk to yourself about it. Because you're the only being on earth God ever created that can talk to himself. So use that advantage. Man is a spirit that lives in a body but have a seat of consciousness called mind or soul. So we discussed that last time. So man, you want to live a constructive life. First and foremost, you must have a constructive conversation with yourself. And when you conversation with yourself, you must be feeding yourself because you cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot pour anything from an empty cup. So you must fill the cup to pour something out. Either water, wine, anything, drink. You must feed yourself. What do you need to feed yourself? Materials, books, which are the audio programs, seminars, workshop, mentorship, getting the right relationship. So because they are the things that you have, asking yourself questions like why am I here on earth? When am I going to start manifesting things for myself? What am I here to do? Who do I need to become? What do I need to create? Asking yourself those personal questions. Why am I here on earth? What do I need to do today? What do I need to become? Who do I need to become? Or what do I need to create? What are my legacy? Because as you are thinking, sitting and looking at me right now, you should start thinking about legacy right now. Succession plan, brand. What are you going to leave on earth behind? Life is about contributions. So you're supposed to leave. What am I going to contribute to life positively? Having this conversation with yourself is going to affect the next thing, which is called external conversation. So not external. Anybody that don't have a positive conversation with himself will not have a positive external conversation with any other person. Everybody that really think about talking about himself, I'm angry, I'm broke, I'm poor, he's talking about himself. When you have a external conversation, he's going to pour out because out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth do what? Speak it. As an entrepreneur, you have a business you are doing. Before you even go out to do external transactions, you must have internal. I must sell. I must make sales. I must grow. I must do this. You must have a proper internal conversation that are positive, that are empowering. I get to me now, but we'll come to destructive very soon. Let's finish the constructive very well. Either with me, shall I? So, you must have external conversations. You want to have those conversations that has to do with energy. That has to do with energy, that brings out energy, synergy, that has to do with energy, synergy, creativity, solutions, strategies to solve problems. External conversations, if you finish one, you have to do with energy, synergy, creative conversations that bring solutions, strategy, ideas. These are the external conversations you encourage. Community, like wherever you come, we don't care about Tinubu or Buhari. That is not about that. How can we become better? Who can we teach? Who can we mentor? What can we learn and give out? What can we call it and use and give out? That's how we are doing. How can I make money to help someone else to make money? How can I help 2 people make 28 million this year? How can I help 6 people make 28 million this year? I mind that I need somebody that is willing to make 28 million, who is ready to pay the price, who is ready to sacrifice to invest in himself, becoming the better person, learn the millionaire skills, and become the ultimate. So it has to do with external conversations that has to do with energy, creativity, solutions, strategy, ideas, systems. These are the conversations you have externally, externally. So, and number 3, speaking to things about God. Conversations you have, speaking to things about God. That is another one. Speaking to things about God. Talk to things about God. That is how to have constructive conversations. Constructive means that you have to talk to things about God. Talk to God about God. You must talk to things about God. Tell anything you see in your life that you don't like, even the one you like. Tell those things about your God. The things you like and the ones you don't like, tell about your God. Hey, you this handsome man, you tell all those about even your success, your leader. Tell me about God. Tell everything about God. Tell everything, the mountains, the tree about God. Tell him about God. Tell anyone neighbor. Tell everything about God. Talk to things about God. Tell anyone neighbor. Talk to things about God. No, your neighbor is not talking. That one is begging for the church card. Tell anyone neighbor. Talk to things about God. So from today, when I see you complain to God, me and you go fight. Even in your prayer, you just see me appear. What are you doing here? So you have to tell everything about your God. Talk to God about malaria. Talk to things about malaria about God. Tell typhoid about God. Tell those fever. Tell everything about it, how big your God is. What are you doing here? By his stripes I'm healed. Can you not understanding it? Yeah, you don't have any place in my life right now. Tell everything you see about. Tell those things about God. Trees, land, car. Say in the name of God, this is my dream car. Right now, I have to give me God. Give me idea. Come to me in Jesus' name. Give me, of course, create value. Turn of value. Tell everything about God. That's how to have a constructive conversation. And the last one here, speak to. Last one say, also say, speak to things about God. Speak to things about. Speak to God. Speaking to things about God. Speak to things as. Okay, here is the last one is that speak to things as God. I love that one. Speak to things as God. That is speak to things. Speak to things as God. And come, I'm going to give a little note there. Speak to things as God. Speak. This one is speaking to things about God. This one speak to things as God who speak to things. Because God has given you the authority. God has given you the what? The authority. I said authority, write this one down. Authority is your right. Authority is your right to represent someone's might. Put it like that before we come to the next one. Authority is your right to represent someone's might. I say sweep the floor. I'm giving you authority to sweep the floor. That means you have my might to do that. Authority is your right to represent someone's might. Imagine the governor give me a letter to take to permanent secretary. I'm going to go there in the name of the governor. That governor sent me here. Yes or yes? I'm having the authority of the governor as if in the might of the governor. Imagine President Tinubu give me a letter to Governor Moyeno and call him and sending one of my boys to you. And his name is performed. I'm going to go there with the authority of the president. Yes or yes? So authority is your right. Even if you don't written anything today, write this one so you can do. From today, you know that you have authority. So that anything you don't like in your life, that's why we are giving you this training. So that when you go into mentorship training, mentees, business, so anything you don't like in your life, use authority to kick them out because you have authority now. Authority is your right to represent someone's might. Full stop. We use his name to represent God's might on earth. We use his name to represent God's might on earth. It's about the mention of his name. Every day must bow. You know, I'm giving you power to go. Greater work shall you do. So you have authority now. Please, you must learn to use authority. If you have powers and you don't use them, it's useless already. It's as case not having. We use his name to represent God's might. Full stop. We speak with delegated authority to speak to things. We speak with delegated authority to speak to anything that block our progress, that block our destiny. We speak with delegated authority. We speak to delegated authority to anything that block our progress and that block our destiny. So we speak to those things. So you speak to things as God will speak to things. Speak to things as God will speak to things. Because you have that authority to do that. So you have to speak to things about God and you have to speak to things as God will speak to things. So that is one of the ways to have a creative what? Conversation. Speaking to things about God, talking to things as God will talk to things. You know, I like the way God behaves. You know, I just love him so much because the guy just sit down and there's darkness, chaos on the face of the deep. The guy just sit down and begin to think. He said, the Spirit of the Lord hovers on the water. And now said, let there be light. He saw light in his mind. He saw light and he speak it, let there be what? Light. That is anything he sees in his mind, he speak it into being. Like we draw the spirit, the seat of consciousness, and the physical. That training we did last week. Anything that you hear from the spirit, you speak it out. Like, I will repeat this thing again and again. Then when I repeat again, I will clean it up again. I said that God created three things in Genesis. Number one, he created the creation. Say no creation. How did he create? He said, let there be light. Let there be firmament. Let there be what? Light. He speak it. God was speaking. Number two, God created the creatures. Say no creatures. He said, let the earth bring forth his kind. He spoke to the earth. Let the water bring forth his kind. So he handed over the creation of the creatures to the creation. He just spoke. Let the earth bring forth his kind. Boom. Let the water bring forth his kind. Because he just sit down. Imagine the earth bringing out trees, mango, pawpaw, banana, mango bring. You know, imagine it. And you now speak it out. So what gives power to your words are your imagination. We talked about last week. So imagine that. So whatever you write to yourselves, your businesses is what you see in your mind. Of course, in your imagination, the imagination, you speak it. But God now came and created number three things. He created the creator. Tell our creator. He said, let us create man. Tell our create man. In our image and likeness. Tell our image. Image of God is natural. Everybody have the image of God. And likeness to work like God. Like God comes through training. You must learn. Through learning and training. You must learn to be like God. So naturally, everybody is like God, but to function and to speak as God, you must learn. Then learn. Learn to, all of us can talk, but you want to teach as teacher or a lecturer, you must teach you how to speak constructively. Yes or yes? It's not like I can talk. Everybody can talk now, but why do you have to go and learn how to teach? Because you have to learn. The likeness of God comes through learning, and so you begin to speak and talk like Him because you are a creator. Say, I'm a creator. He created you to create. He made you to make. That's why ever since God finished creating, everything you see today was created by man for man. Your chair, your phone, your laptop, your shoe, your clothes was man's creation. So now looking at it, so whenever I want to have whenever any this conversation is not part of this, is must be destructive. Let me give you 4 things. I don't know what. Let me check my time. This one I'm talking like this today. Oh, 9 o'clock. Okay, I don't exceed 9 o'clock. Don't worry. Tomorrow I will just start here. I will not go anything here. I'll just give you 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 destructive conversations. Once you see them, run away. Okay, neighbor, run. Whenever you find yourself in a place that they start this destructive conversation, run. Then run. Because those conversations you feel it doesn't matter. He said that wrong. Is it bad communication corrupt good manners? He said that, yes. Bad communication corrupt what? So reason why the manners are corrupt is because of you never knew the indices and the red flags of destructive conversations. So I'll give you 4 of them tomorrow. Then 4 red flags of destructive conversations. Once you see them, run. Because you might be going there with $1 billion idea, with a $1 billion opportunity in your mind, and you are there. Before you leave, they have reduced your idea to a cup size, and suddenly believe that you are small. They will reduce it for you. They will make you feel less of yourself. That when you leave there, you don't have energy again to pursue your life goals, your dreams. The millions you say you can earn. Now you still don't imagine yourself going to Dubai, going here, building hospital, helping people, paying people school fee. You are so happy about your life, have a strategic idea, but you don't know that you carry your 2 legs, waka, enter wrong relationship, and so they could reduce your life dreams for you to peanuts, and sometimes you even lose everything. I gave a story over last about Jonah. God sent him to Nineveh. He entered a ship. What we call a relationship, business ship. He entered one ship, 10 ship. And that ship, he enter. Now so the ocean, wahala for sea. Every rich man lose everything he carry. He carry and put for water, broom. Everybody carry, they lose their capital. Person don't use 20 years build capital. Jonah, the wrong relationship don't enter. The guy carry everything inside water. Everybody lose everything. It's a which kind of you build room in storm, but storm, this kind of storm. Then everybody even call our God, then God knows in a Jonah. And the only idiots, they sleep. If they sleep, you never, oh my God. Some people are sleeping in your life. As they enter in your life, they've not added anything to your life. There are a bunch of liabilities. You have been carrying them along. And your life is in storms. Everywhere, storm. Anywhere you go, storm. You don't lose money, finish. You don't buy shawarma, buy ice cream, nothing they work. Until they say, I'm telling you what I know now. They say, call your God. You don't go and they know they say that this guy where they your ship. Now me the point for today. Now as you go back, they say, John, what you want to do for you? Say, put it for your water. Who carry leg, carry leg. Who carry hand, carry life. Who carry head, who carry neck, they carry inside water. Wham! Now the chief can't get peace. But they don't lose. There's something in your life until they live your life like this. Your life no will get peace. As they come into your life, your relationship don't get wahala. You and your wife when they fight because of third party. Then on third party. Your team was going well, but you carry one idiot when no get direction. You did not qualify men in your space because you did not know how to conduct a constructive conversations. You carry on and go enter destructive conversations. From that day, everything wahala. So you have to get the conversation out tomorrow. Then not tomorrow. So once we are done with these destructive conversations, we will now move ahead to talk about mentors and mentees and how to run a business, and things will be getting better for you. Because if I don't tell you how to fix these conversations, even until that we can use your mouth and be killing the thing and teaching you. You know what? Don't worry, tomorrow we'll talk about destructive conversations. So whenever you see them talking about your pastor, you carry your bag and take a leaf. Then not leave. Then not take a walk. You are not a tree. Tell your neighbor, you are not a tree. Take a walk. Anytime you see that talking about great men, okay, that you desire to be, just take a walk. I have a long note for you. Also, one of those I put on my bed and so yeah, maybe leave it to tomorrow. So the online communities, please, I want to encourage you, get a mentor. If you want to do business, get a mentor. If you want to be an entrepreneur, get a mentor. You know why? Mentorship is a legal shortcut to success. He that stands at the shoulder of mentors will see far. See you tomorrow, see you at the top. God bless you. For the rest of us here, I want to be sure I'm not talking to chess, I'm talking to human being. So take your notes. What did you write today? What is your take home today? Did you learn anything today? What is your take home today? Maybe one or two things, maybe 3, 4 things, maybe 5 things. You learn something today, can I say answer? Okay? What's your take home today, sir?
Good
morning.
Today I've learned that every spoken word spoken by any is not effective. It lives on with the speaker and the person is speaks.
Yeah, sure. Sure.
It's like somebody eating carbohydrate at the end sugar.
Yes, thank you. What? You learned something today? You want to share with us? Okay, I'm coming to you. Doctor, tell us what's your take home today.